As the UFC's poster boy gets ready for one of the biggest showcases of the year, the spotlight is once again on mixed martial arts. And following Ireland's fight for MMA to be recognised as a legitimate sport, there's another country that's also fighting for their sport to be respected. Last year, the French government banned MMA as an official sport under new combat sport regulations. Now, although training is allowed, putting on promotions like UFC, Bellator or Cage Warriors is prohibited. But having the ban lifted would mean so much more than just putting on a show.
Being the only one country to ban the MMA, that's just crazy. Why? MMA is still growing. MMA is still being practicing in some kind of gyms. So, yeah, I definitely think that having the MMA legally in France will change things, will make things easier for everyone. We give job to people, we give hope to some people they didn't have a chance to go to school. Like we have a lot of guys that coming from homeless to star because they went through the MMA.
So how did it all come about? Well, there are a number of techniques that are strictly outlawed, such as punches, kicks or strikes with the knees against a fighter on the ground, and any strike with an elbow and throwing the opponent out of the ring. With some of those techniques used in MMA, where does it leave the fighters?
It's hard to find a fight to make your professional career progress. Like if you are a fighter in the United States, you can fight pretty much every month if you want to. You have a lot of promotion, UFC, Bellator, and a lot of promotion. If you are in France, first of all, you have to go abroad. So you have to spend some money to go either to Belgium, Italy, or Russia. So you have to spend money there. And yeah, you're fighting 2 or 3 times a year if you're lucky.
It's very, very difficult to fight in France because it's a sport that's not recognised in the country. So, starting from that point, fighting a fight is not simple. To find a fight in Paris is almost impossible.
Now, on the surface, what goes on in the octagon can look ruthless and brutal. And with the president of the French Judo Federation, Jean-Luc Rouge, pouring scorn on the sport and describing it as a refuge for jihadists, is leading to fears that the sport is generally just misunderstood.
I think people are always afraid of what they don't understand. That's very simple. Is the MMA violent? Definitely it is. Because the definition of having a sport physically, I'm trying to dominate you physically means this is violence. I mean, pushing you or pulling you when you don't want, this is violent anyway. So I'm not saying that the MMA is not violent. What I'm saying is that the MMA is not more violent than another sport, another boxing or judo. I think the best advertising that judo had in the whole world was Ronda Rousey. If I was the world president Federation Judo, I would say to people, look, if you want to be a stronger girl who got the most paid in the whole world, then come to the judo before going to the MMA, because we build that champion. That's how they should do. Try to say something bad about MMA is not helping them anyway.
But despite the ban, there's a wave of optimism about the future of the sport in France, especially with a changing government.
I think MMA is the future. It's a new sport. We integrate every part of martial art, standing, wrestling, even judo technique, jiu-jitsu. So I think, yeah, it's the future of martial art.
It's a matter of time. It's a matter of brave people. Like we just have a new Minister of Sport. She's young. At some point there will be MMA legalized somewhere. We just need someone, brave one, to say, with power, to say, okay, let's get it on.
And until that moment, the fighters of France will continue their battle for change.